Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, I am sharing 5 recipes that only use 5 ingredients. Of course, I do not count seasonings and things like that, but for the most part, these can be brought together in no time at all. They are super delicious, super family friendly, so let's get to cooking.
So we are starting off with pork tenderloin and veggies. This is so easy to put together. So we are going to be using 1 yellow onion, a bag of bite-sized potatoes, just cut in half or quarters, and 1 bag of green beans. To our 9x13 baking dish, I'm just going to spray it with some cooking spray, and then we're just going to place the veggies. I just put the green beans, the potatoes, and the onions, make sure that it's all spread out evenly, and I am using a lemon garlic pre-marinated pork loin. I believe I got it from Aldi's and it costs like under $5, so super budget friendly meal as well. I'm just going to drizzle it with olive oil, season with salt and pepper. I would suggest maybe even using some lemon pepper seasoning if you have it, and then cover it with foil. I like to spray my foil just so nothing sticks. Put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 1 hour, and here is our meal. It was so good. That pork was super juicy, the potatoes were soft, and the green beans were delicious as well. For our next meal, I am making sour cream and onion chicken fingers. It is so good, super kid-friendly as well. I am using broccoli as a side dish, so I just cut the 2 heads into broccoli florets. To a Ziploc bag, we are going to add in about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of sour cream and onion chips. This is where the magic happens on those chicken fingers. Just smash it up with whatever you got to make breadcrumbs, or in this case, potato crumbs. Shallow bowl, we're going to add in our potato chips along with 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Give it a good mix. As you're mixing, you can be sure to crush up those chips a little bit more so they're a little finer. And we are going to add in 1/2 packet of some onion soup. This is probably the funnest way I've ever used onion soup. To another shallow bowl, we're going to crack 2 eggs and whisk them. And then we are just going to take our chicken tenders and we're going to dip it in the egg and then into the potato chip mixture and set aside. So to our sheet pan, we're going to give it a good spray with some cooking oil, and then we're just going to place on our chicken fingers that are coated in our potato mixture, and then we're going to place the broccoli, and we're going to drizzle that with some olive oil and use the rest of the onion soup mix packet. Give that a really good toss, and then we're going to bake it in the oven at 400 for about 20 to 25 minutes or until the chicken is cooked through. And here is what our dinner came out like. I served it with some ranch dressing for dipping, and it's so good, you guys. It is so good. You got all of those flavors in the broccoli and in the chicken, and this was a huge hit with my kids as well. And if you're a mom, you know how important that is. Next up is an internet sensation. This lazy meat lasagna comes together in less than 30 minutes, and it is so good. My family loves it every single time I make it. So to a pan, I'm going to brown 1 pound of ground beef and drain it. And then we're just going to add a jar of our favorite marinara sauce and heat it through. Over to our 9 by 13 baking dish, I'm just going to spray it with some cooking spray, and I'm going to put in about half of the meat sauce mixture and just make sure that's lining the bottom. And here comes our shortcut ingredient, which makes it our lazy lasagna. And it is just some frozen raviolis. You can use any brand you want. This was the Walmart brand and it tastes delicious, but feel free to use whatever brand of raviolis you want. Just layer them in a single layer and top with the remaining meat mixture, and then just top with some mozzarella cheese. Then we are going to cover it with some aluminum foil and bake it in the oven for about 25 minutes or until it is nice and hot all the way through. And here is what dinner came out like. It is so good, you guys. If you've never tried this shortcut before, definitely give it a try and let me know how you and your family enjoyed it. So for our next recipe, we are making a Mexican turkey rice, and this is going to start with 1 bell pepper. Use whatever color you want. I only had a yellow one left, and then 1 small onion. Dice them both up. To our saute pan, we are going to brown 1 pound of ground turkey. You can also use ground beef here if you wanted. That's also really delicious in this dish. So we're just going to brown that and drain it. Then we're going to add in our onions and our bell peppers and season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. This way it can start cooking the veggies. So you guys are going to have to let me know if you love Knorr rice sides as much as I do. I think these are so delicious and they're super budget friendly. So anyway, we are going to add in 1 packet of the Spanish rice and along with 2 cups of water. And then we're just going to stir that all together and cover it and simmer for about 7 minutes or until the rice is nice and tender. Once our rice is cooked through, we are going to add in 1 cup of Mexican style cheese. This gives it an amazing texture and it melts almost immediately because that pan is already so hot. I just served this with a side salad with ranch dressing, and my kids love this as well as I and my husband. So for our last recipe, I made a baked cube steak with a mushroom gravy. This was so good. So I am just going to be putting in 1 cup of flour and a teaspoon each of salt and pepper into a shallow bowl. Mix that all up. And then we are just going to be coating our cube steak with the flour. So over to our frying pan, I am going to melt about 1 tablespoon of butter, and we are going to just cook the steak for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, and we're just going to repeat that until all the steak is nice and browned. Now over to our large mixing bowl, we are going to add in 4 ounces of canned mushrooms, 1 can each of golden mushroom and beefy mushroom Campbell's soup, and 2 cups of water. And we are going to give this a really, really good stir. And this is what is going to become the mushroom gravy. Let me tell you guys, this is heavenly. Over to our 9 by 13 baking sheet, we are going to spray it with non-stick spray and then just layer in our beef and then top that with the mushroom gravy. We're gonna bake this in the oven at 375 for 45 minutes. That meat is so tender and it's just so delicious with those mushrooms. I served it with some green beans and some potatoes, and it was another delicious meal.
Thank you guys so much for watching. That is going to do it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it and you found something to feed your family. I am going to be sharing tons of new videos every single week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications. This way you know every time I upload new content and you don't miss anything else. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.